So the Orlando Magic are 10-11 on the season, which is not particularly exciting, but I think when you dive into their situation and you look at Vucevic's improvement versus how much you want to play Mo Bamba, and the fact that I think the team's in a situation now where they could potentially go for it in terms of winning and maybe get to the mid-tier of the Eastern Conference, or I could picture them falling off and then wanting draft picks. It's a whole bunch of stuff with this team, and I think there's some interesting conversations to be had. So as far as the on-court product is concerned, I think the reason why they're winning so much now, well, when I say so much, I mean compared to where they've been in the past, where they are currently on pace to be like a high 30s, potentially even low 40s win team, is that they've just got so much more shooting now. Vucevic's improvement, Gordon still being an okay shooter, DJ Augustine being a way better shooter than they've had in the past, Terrence Ross coming alive, shooting like 40% from three. Funny enough, Evan Fournier has been their best shooter for a while, and he's the guy having the down season right now, but all this is just allowing them to have like a pretty decent offense whenever the starters are in the game. And we should dive into Vucevic a little bit more, because his shooting combined with the stuff he's always giving you, the offensive rebounding and the post-ups, is making this team kind of difficult to defend. You know, they're like a mid-tier offense when Vuce is in there, and it's mainly just like spacing, and Steve Clifford recognizes it, so he'll draw the opposing big man out, and that gives Gordon opportunities to post up around the rim or cut to the basket or whatever. Clifford's also running just a couple of sets where there's like a horn set for Augustine with Gordon and Vucevic, which kind of confuses defenses, and there's handoff plays and a couple of flare screens here and there for the wings. Like, it's just kind of working enough for it all to like not suck, which is what it has in the past, the Magic offense. And I think we could even see it improve a bit if he plays like Fournier with the second unit. Now, this is going to require Fournier's shooting to be actually decent again, which it has been for most of his career, so you got to assume it'll happen, but for whatever reason, he's having a tough time out of the gate. So that's all the on-court stuff. The rest of this is mainly just like the situation of this team. So, you know, between Mo Bamba and Vucevic, it's a very interesting conversation where when they drafted Bamba, everybody's thinking, oh, that's it for Vucevic. But, you know, if Vuce is going to be this new guy, then I think a different conversation arises. We have to see if he actually is this new guy first. I mean, he could fall back down to earth, but, you know, Bamba's got to prove that he's the right center. And if he doesn't prove that, then I think you want to keep Vuce, potentially. You could also just be like, screw it, we want to suck and get draft picks, but I think this team is kind of all in on like being a respectable team and having more people come to the games and potentially even making the playoffs, which I think they can definitely do in the East this season. But if you do that, then you are kind of saying that you're content with the future of your team being Jonathan Isaac, Aaron Gordon, and Mo Bamba. Now, between those three, I think I actually like Isaac the most, which might be like surprising to some people just because he hasn't really done much in the NBA so far. But I think more of that is due to injury than anything else. Because when I look at Isaac and I see his height, which I'm pretty sure is legitimately 7 feet, and the way he moves and the skills that he has shown up to this point, like I think in his prime, Isaac can put up 17 points, 12 rebounds, like 2 blocks a game, a steal and a half, be a terror in transition, be a pretty okay three-point shooter, not amazing, but decent, and just be like one of the most valuable players in the league, kind of like a modern-day Sean Marion, if you will. So, I mean, I really love Isaac's potential. But then, you know, you see the stuff that Gordon's doing now and the way he's going off the bounce, and his jump shot is still decent, and you hope that Bamba can be like this like combination of Clint Capella and, I don't know, Brooke Lopez. And, you know, you think that can really be something. But do you want all that while still being kind of a respectable team? I mean, we've seen some teams do that successfully. The Toronto Raptors built up Pascal Siakam while they were still pretty good. The Celtics did it with Jaylen Brown. Other teams have done it. I just can't think of who off the top of my head. Like, it is possible. And again, I think a lot of it is off the back of Vucevic is just really damn good at this point. So maybe you'd want to sign him to like a short deal to give Bamba just a little bit more time to grow into whatever he is. Or maybe you just want to keep Vucevic because it's kind of fun to be like a not horrible NBA team, especially when you've been one for a while now. I think it's worth a conversation, you know? Now, could they dive in all the way and try to get in on like some Bradley Beal sweepstakes, which is something I brought up, you know, in that Bradley Beal trade vid. I mean, you only do that if you don't have to give up Bamba, Isaac, or Gordon. Although maybe you love Isaac so much you would be willing to trade Gordon, I don't know. But, you know, I think Evan Fournier is like a guy that the Wizards could want. Now, apparently their asking price for Bradley Beal is massive, so maybe that wouldn't be enough, and I don't think you should give up more than basically Fournier and the OKC pick in 2020. But, you know, like, could that be a move, right? Because the thing with Orlando is, if you had Beal and this new Vucevic, I think your offense could be, like, pretty damn good, actually. And then you could still have Isaac and all these young dudes to grow. And you could kind of get the best of both worlds. Now, even then, Bradley Beal can't be the best player on a title team, but I mean, you know, if you're all in on just making sure you have like the next Joel Embiid, then you might as well just be horrible for the rest of this season, which we've seen with the Magic being bad for, well, basically since Dwight Howard left, doesn't always work. So, yeah, I mean, the other route is you hold on to your draft picks, you don't kill yourself in salary, you build up these young dudes, maybe you make some kind of a move to help you out right now, and then down the road, maybe you've got the assets to acquire a star, maybe your culture is just so awesome that some star free agent wants to come to you. Like, there is a reason to not always bottom out, and maybe that is what the Magic should go for now. Just try to be as good as you can be, hold on to the stuff that you have to make your future look at least pretty decent, and then if the opportunity's there, go for it. Yeah, I think the Magic, they got something kind of going on here. Now, again, maybe they just suck for the rest of this year because Vucevic is actually just a mid-tier center who is masquerading as like a top 7 or 8 center. And if that's the case, well, then you probably go the tank route because you didn't have any other choice. I don't know. It'll be interesting. But, yeah, I don't have an outro. The video's over.